welcome to your virtual classroom. Today, we're totally mastering Unit 2 vocabulary development. We're going to go step by step through this material so you are 100% prepared for your exams. Whether you're feeling like a total beginner or you just want to brush up on your English skills, you are exactly in the right place. So let's just dive right in, shall we? We're going to make building your vocabulary incredibly easy.
Here's the quick game plan for today's explainer. We'll hit the building blocks, tricky words and sounds, idioms and formal expressions, connecting word relationships, affixes and compound words, and finally wrap up with dictionaries and a chapter summary. All right, Section 1, the building blocks of vocabulary. Let's start with the absolute foundation of how the English language actually works. I want you to imagine you're building a house, right? Just like a builder uses solid bricks to build walls and that wet mortar to glue those bricks together, language works the exact same way. You use vocabulary words as your bricks, and grammar is your mortar holding it all together. Literally, without bricks, you have nothing to build with, and that right there is why vocabulary is just so incredibly important.
Now, did you know your vocabulary is actually split into two distinct parts? It's true. First, we've got your active vocabulary. These are the words you confidently use every single day when you're speaking or writing. Then there's your passive vocabulary. This mental filing cabinet holds words you totally understand when you read them in a book or hear someone else say them, but, you probably wouldn't use them naturally yourself. As students, our ultimate goal here is to shift more and more of those passive words over into your active vocabulary. We also divide words up based on their actual job in a sentence. Content words are things like nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Words like bird, beautiful, or tree. They carry the heavy meaning. If you just shout, beautiful bird, we instantly get the picture. On the flip side, function words are little words like and, the, or on. They don't mean much on their own. They just act like glue to hold the grammar together. Moving right along to Section 2, tricky words and sounds. Let's tackle some of the biggest stumbling blocks beginners face when learning English.
First up, homonyms. This is a massive one to get your head around. Homonyms are words that sound and look exactly the same. Same spelling, same pronunciation, but, and here's the catch, they change meaning entirely depending on the context of your sentence. Take the word club, for instance. If I tell you I'm joining a club, you know I mean a group of people with a shared interest. But look at history. A club is also a heavy wooden stick used as a weapon. Oh, and if you play cards, clubs are one of the 4 suits in the deck. Same exact spelling, same exact sound, 3 completely different meanings. That's a homonym for you.
Now, you really don't want to confuse homonyms with these next 2 categories. We have homophones. Break it down, homo means same, phone means sound. These sound the same but are spelled differently. Think of great, like wow, that's wonderful, and grate, like grating cheese for a pizza. Then we have homographs. Graph means writing. These are spelled exactly the same, but sound completely different when you say them. Like minute, 60 seconds, and minute, meaning something incredibly tiny.
Okay, on to Section 3, idioms and formal expressions. This is where English gets really colorful and full of hidden meanings. Idiomatic expressions, or idioms, are these amazing, frozen phrases where the literal words mean absolutely nothing on their own. For example, if I say someone has a skeleton in the cupboard, I'm not saying they literally have bones hiding next to their winter coats. It's an idiom that just means they're hiding an embarrassing or dark secret. Learning idioms takes a little time, but honestly, they make your English sound so natural and fluent.
We also really have to watch out for connotations, which are basically the emotional vibes attached to words. The crucial thing here is that 2 words can have a very similar dictionary definition, but give off completely opposite feelings. You might praise a leader for their determination. That's a strong, positive, approved connotation. But if you call someone pig-headed, well, that's a negative, disapproved connotation, even though both roughly mean someone refuses to change their mind. So you got to choose your words carefully. Let's hit Section 4, connecting word relationships. It turns out our brains actually learn vocabulary way faster when we connect words together in groups. We naturally organize words into hierarchies using categories called hyponyms. You start with a big, broad category, a superordinate, like colors or clothes. Then, nested right underneath them, you have the specific items, the hyponyms. So blue and red go under colors, and shirt and trousers go under clothes. Honestly, grouping words like this in your notebook is a fantastic hack for studying.
Next up are collocations. Think of these as best friends in the English language. They are simply words that frequently partner up naturally. For instance, we always say make money.
We would never say create money or build money, right? That just sounds weird. Knowing which words naturally partner together is an absolute game changer for moving from a beginner to an advanced speaker.
To finish this section, let's talk opposites and similarities. Antonyms are opposites. Now, some are on a sliding scale, like hot, warm, cold, and freezing. Others are mutually exclusive, like male and female. It's one or the other. Synonyms, on the other hand, are words with similar meanings, like angry, annoyed, and upset. But keep in mind, synonyms are rarely 100% identical. There's usually a slight difference in the emotional feeling of the word. Section 5. Affixes and compound words. This is where vocabulary building becomes a bit like a math equation to build brand new words.
Through a process called affixation, you can literally mathematically create new words. Start with a base or a root word, like agree. Attach a prefix to the front, like dis, and now you have disagree. Finally, tack on a suffix to the end, like meant, and boom, you've created the noun disagreement. By just learning a handful of prefixes and suffixes, you instantly multiply your active vocabulary without memorizing entirely new words from scratch.
Another incredibly simple trick is compounding. This is where you literally glue two independent, standalone words together to make a totally new word. Take the word flower and the word pot. Smash them together and you've got flower pot. Arm plus chair becomes armchair. It really is that easy.
All right, we've made it to Section 6, Dictionaries and Chapter Summary. Let's look at one final essential tool before we wrap up today's explainer.
So many students think a dictionary is just for checking the meaning of a word they don't know. But wow, it is so much more than that. A good dictionary gives you the exact correct pronunciation and where to put the stress so you sound totally confident speaking. It tells you the historical origin of the word. It even gives you grammar rules, like whether a noun is countable or uncountable. Your dictionary isn't just a reference book. It's literally your ultimate study buddy. All right, quick pop quiz before we finish up. Can you confidently explain the difference between a homonym, a homophone, and a homograph based on what we just covered? Seriously, pause this explainer for a second if you need to. Got your answers? Okay, remember, homonyms are same spelling, same sound. Homophones are same sound, different spelling, and homographs are same spelling, different sound. If you nailed that, you are doing wonderfully.
To wrap this all up, words are the vital building blocks of our language. We've learned how to categorize them, connect them, and even build brand new ones. But remember, vocabulary building is a lifelong habit. To move those words from your passive vocabulary over to your active vocabulary, you have to constantly review, revise, and recycle them in your daily writing and speaking. So leave you with this thought. How many incredible words are just sitting in your passive vocabulary, collecting dust, waiting for you to finally use them?
Keep practicing, keep reading, and keep building those language bricks. You've totally got this. For more clear explanations and daily IGNOU videos, subscribe to IGNOU Mind Decoded.